Ain't no time to abandon this LP. Come on, we gotta finish this already. It's been going on for way too long. So, second half of the Cavelem tribe. Ain't no time. This is one of those levels that look really simple at first glance, but upon trying it out, you're definitely going to notice that it's definitely not as simple as expected. You're probably going to think, alright, this is one of those levels where you just have to get everybody to be vaulted over by the lizard, then you shoot a rope in order to be able to make your way all the way to the exit. But as we're going to pull this off, you're going to notice that we're going to run into a couple of issues. First of all, it's kind of hard to click on the lemming that you want because the game will keep thinking that you're trying to click on the lemmings that are currently unconscious, but yeah, nobody can make their way up there anymore, so that is kind of an unforeseen consequence as to what we've just done. It might be possible to do something about this at the very beginning of the level if you get a lemming to jump over the lizard so that whenever he's going to be vaulted over to the ledge, he's going to face to the left. But yeah, we unfortunately missed the boat on that one, so let's try and see if we can do something about this whole mess from the top side. Okay, maybe it could have been possible, but we definitely failed big time here, so I guess we're just going to take our 5 lemmings that have made their way to the exit and just move on to the next level, right? Nah, of course we don't. So, even though I was saying that it was possible to just jump or build over the lizard so that your lemmings are going to be facing toward the left as they're being vaulted over, we're just going to do things completely differently here, and only a single lemming is going to have to face the rat of the lizard, or maybe he's not even gonna do that because, yeah, whatever, we're just going to make him fly all the way up here. Because, yeah, what we're going to do here is to just make it so that we're going to build a complete bridge that goes from the beginning of the level using the roper, and then we're going to use a builder, and before we take the step forward, we're just going to be using the glue pourer so that we can make a bridge of the tiny little bit of bridge that we just built, and then we just pour our way to victory over here. There we go, that lizard is not going to make anybody hurt today. I mean, the cave lemmings are already having a hard time navigating through this tribe to begin with, so let's not make them hurt any more than they need to be. If we can avoid it, let's. So this next level here is kind of a misnomer. It is called Deadly Exit, but as you're going to take a look at the level, it definitely is more about deadly exits. On the plural form, that is. So yeah, this level has a whole lot of exits and none of them really look attractive or any interesting to be had because either you get these red-eye creeps that are lurking in the shadows in order to snatch your lemmings away, or there are pools of acid, or even a lizard that will just vault your lemmings backward, just laughing at them as they're not gonna be able to do anything. Whoops, we definitely failed here, but that's okay, we're just treading the waters here. We're just going to see what happens if we make our way to the exit up here, but yeah, let's just say it's been kind of a big failure here. Also, this level is annoying because every single time that you start this level, the camera starts in the middle of nowhere. I have no clue why it does that, but boy, I am not a big fan of it whatsoever. So yeah, the stacker was probably not a good idea, so instead we're just going to do things a little bit different. The platform here is necessary because of course we need to avoid the shadowy guy, but yeah, this exit is definitely more than meets the eye because there's no ground underneath it. So you have to build a platform. With skillful enough jumper use, it probably will be possible to make your way to the exit up here without any kind of casualties, which is definitely not something that we will see here, but come on. Let's just go ahead and see, maybe we are allowed casualties. I mean, generally this is not how Lemmings 2 goes. You shall always assume that you have to save everybody in this game, and yeah, that was totally the case here. We killed too many lemmings, well, too many as in the number, just I don't know, it's kind of hard to even explain. Also, hell yeah, scrolling all the way back over here. Boy, I love this level intro. Let's be an amateur cameraman here. So instead of trying again with the top exit, let's take this one exit over here. Because for the most part it is pretty much the easiest exit to get through. There are two shadowy folk here, but it's okay because with one single platform here you can make your way through all of them without breaking any kind of sweat. And as soon as this is all over, yep, we just put a rope here and there we go. Okay, so that exit was not as deadly, but the bottom exit, however, oh boy. If you want to go there, I hope you have a good will ready, because this is definitely gonna make your life miserable. I'm honestly not sure that we even get the required supplies in order to make our way down here, so yeah, I guess if you fancy a challenge, try it out. You'll love it. It's a way of life. But remember that in Lemmings 2, you only get a gold medal for doing things the correct way and not for being stylish. Oh, Wilma! I'm sorry, but this level, however, is not going to make you scream, yabba-dabba-doo! Because, oh boy, it's one of those vertical levels, which, as you know, I'm not a big fan of generally. And this one is kind of a doozy, because it requires a lot of skillful moving around. And this is not good skillful moving around here. We only want a single lemming to go here, so alright. Balloon guy, please go back to your tribe. Oh no! Or please go back to your home planet. I mean, you can do whatever you want. I'm not gonna judge you. Okay, there we go. We got a single lemming moving forward here. This stacker is just going to jump toward the left whenever he's gonna have a chance, so now we have to make our way through all of this terrain here by... Okay, or you can just stay stuck here. That's another thing that can definitely happen in this level. So yeah, there's not a big margin of error for using the balloon here in order to get toward the upper terrain here. It's kind of annoying, but yeah. Generally, this is what you'll want to do. And then, whenever the ceiling is way too low for any kind of ballooning to take place, it's time for the stacker to take over. Oh, and yeah, make sure that you build high enough, because otherwise you're definitely gonna fail. But that's okay, because at least we have a couple of them, but don't get into the habit of wasting them. Oh fuck. I don't like this tiny gap here! Foiled again! God damn it! Okay, thankfully I have climbed the right way, so everything is okay in the end. So, in order to make it toward the end, we're gonna have to free all of our buddies from the lower portion and everything. So, yep, it's time for more balloon antics. And yeah, make sure that you have at least one more stacker, because things are gonna get really nasty here. And in fact, yeah, you'd probably want two here, because... yeah, of course, if you want to get all the way over here, this is definitely gonna be the easy way in order to do it. And of course, we cannot climb all the way here, so... do I dare to waste my final stacker? I guess not. Let's try and balloon, even though... yeah, the ceiling is barely high enough in order to do it. But hey, let's try again, because hey, at this point... okay, at this point, I'm sorry, but... no, don't go back to the balloon! This is not how we're going to do this! I'm sorry, but this is a no-balloon country here. You have the right idea. Go back to the stacker. Please pass me, I'm begging you. No, this is not gonna work. Okay, it would have worked, except that we got stuck in the landscape yet again, but... that's okay. Oh my goodness, I somehow made it. I'm sorry, I did not deserve to make my way through this whole thing. So yeah, now that we have the powers of fencing, we can make a tunnel here, and then the bomber is going to do the rest. Or maybe we'll have done the rest if we, you know, we're bombing from a good enough location. We definitely cannot bomb from the lower portion of the tunnel. We're gonna have to do that from way up there. And yeah, sadly, fencing is not really the good way in order to dig downward, so yeah. I'm sorry, but we failed the level. We're probably only going to have a single lemming that will make it to the end, so yeah. I mean, that would be alright if we were just playing casually and we do not want to get any of the medals and everything, but we're here for hardcore lemming action. The one where everyone dies and there's absolutely no kind of happy endings. Nah, I'm just kidding. In fact, I kinda just contradicted myself here. We're not here for the medals, but we're here in order to get everybody to fucking die. So yeah, bad news, I put myself in a pickle again, but that's okay, this time I got it on my first try. It's kind of important that you fence properly here, but sadly the fencer can be kind of finicky because you can just hit that steel block all the way up here without really trying to go for it per se. And now for the end of this level, we just have to bomb our way down here. And yeah, make sure that you only send one lemming here, because of course, if you send a crowd here, it's very easy to just blow all your other lemmings over your wall, and you don't want that to happen. But once that you've successfully done that, you're pretty much home free. With that said, all of your lemmings are gonna horribly suffer the fate of horrible sore feet, because there's a lot of hard falls waiting for you down here. But at least there's no real puzzle here anymore, but that's okay, we can have massive head trauma, woohoo! And even then I failed to even capitalize on the whole thing, but that's okay. At the very least, no lemming will be in the way of my fencer, which is definitely what you want whenever you try to assign skills, because whenever you have a whole lot of lemmings in a pile, you never really know what lemming you're going to click on, because it's not as if this game has any kind of priorities like the first Lemmings did. Or at least the first Lemmings on the Amiga, where you could just force the game to apply a skill to Walker, a feature that for some reason was missing in the DOS version, and a lot of versions out here, mind you, so who knows why nobody ever saw fit of putting this feature into the other game. But enough about that, it's time for the
evolution of Lemmings!
I miss you, Caplock titles. That is definitely one of the things that brought me back here. So yeah, the evolution of Lemmings goes like this. First, they knew how to parachute. Then they could destroy walls. And then they could pound their way to submission. Then they could build bridges, fly jetpacks, and then have lasers. Okay, I'm sorry, but they kinda gave up with the team on this one level. Let's just say that Laser Blaster is kind of an anachronistic skill to have for this tribe. But whatever, we're not here for realism. If you want realism, or you know, the ability to ride horses that are replicated with all realism, go play Red Dead Redemption 2 or something instead of this game. I'm sorry, but we're going back to Rockstar's old days here. So yeah, here's probably the most delicate part of this level. You have to laser blast your way through the ceiling here, and then yeah, you kinda just end up failing the level. I'm sorry, but even though we have a bunch of jetpacks here, don't think that they are in a very huge quantity or anything. There's not a whole lot of margin for error. You're probably afforded maybe one or two mistakes, but here this is a mistake that we're definitely not gonna allow you to afford. So yeah, you don't really need to do this daring parachute blowing away thing, but I like to have my lemming walk toward the left as I jetpack him through this tiny narrow corridor, because then at least he's going to go in the direction where I want him to be. And of course, it's always more delicate than you'd think to get all the way up here. But yeah, you'll definitely want to go right, because yeah, now we have to prepare the way for the other lemmings, and the way forward is not as straightforward as you'd think. There's definitely a whole lot of twists and turnips, or nah, this is definitely not the right term, but alright, let's just go with turnips anyway. We're going to be paving our way with your favorite vegetables. So yeah, whenever I was saying that you should be careful with your jetpacks, this is definitely the kind of thing that we're talking about. This is of course impossible to balloon your way through this. You absolutely need the jetpack because your balloon is too fat in order to get through here. So every single time that there's a wall that you can bash through toward the right, that's your cue in order to bash through and build a platform in order for all of your other lemmings to be greeted. This is one of those levels where you have to send in a trailblazer lemming, but then your other lemmings are not gonna follow the path that he ended up taking because of course they're not going to be able to go upstream that mucus river or whatever the hell it is. And yeah, this might seem dicey over here with the balloon, but don't worry, you have more leniency than you think. And even if you don't, then the parachute can just get you steered toward the right direction. So now our path forward is ready to go, but not quite, because of course, if you're looking at the way things are, all of our lemmings are still going to end up into the Green River, so yeah, we're still gonna have to do some work here, but that's okay, because every single one of these falls is going to stun the lemmings because of how deep they are, so yeah, again, a very painful level for our lemmings here. It's just, they cannot get a break in this freaking tribe. Every single drop, they're just going to be stunned. It's just, I hope that you are not having any kind of headache, you know, trauma or whatever, because it's definitely back with a passion. And now this part here is kind of delicate because you have to make sure that your lemming is going to be heading toward the right way, and if he doesn't, then that's okay, because you still have platformers in order to make it so that your parachuter is just going to bridge over the gap. And oh my god, I just want to tell what's going on in this one level, but all that I'm hearing is ow, 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 because this level is kind of chaotic for the years. Alright, there we go, now take a break. You definitely earned it after the evolution of lemmings, where they kinda just learn to just ignore all pain that results from long falling distances. But I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. Yeah, I didn't even notice, and not was not even spelled right in this one level. So yeah, the final level, it's kind of a dickhead because this is one of those levels that throw a whole lot of curveballs at you, and they just end up getting solved with a pretty nonsensical solution for the most part. Honestly, I hate this level. It's just, this is one of those levels where I cannot rally behind. Instead of going over this skeleton fossil that we have here and go toward this path which is full of obstacles, as well as this lizard here, you have to do a very daring maneuver, and I will elaborate on it a little bit more whenever we'll get back to it, because this is a part that is kind of pixel perfect, and yeah, it sucks. I'm sorry there's no defending or going around this whole thing, and now, yeah. Here's the randomness of the attractor in full effect. It's too bad because I kinda like the attractor in this one level. In fact, is there like a tribe where I don't like the attractor? They're all cool lemmings. It's just, I'm sorry, but I love all of them. So, take 3. We only have a single lemming going forward here. Well, that's okay. Everything is still going on just as planned. Our fencer will get us where we want to. So yeah, we have to shimmy on this thing, but the problem with the shimmy skill in this game is that it's not going to work if there's not enough space above the lemming, so you literally have like 1 or 2 frames in order for him to land where you want to be, and that's about it. It's really awful, and this is just, that's essentially all of the difficulty of the level. Apart from that, once you've successfully done that, the rest of this level is self-explanatory. There's no real other way to do this because of that freaking gap here at the bottom of the level. And here we go. It took us way too long, but we finally made it. The Cavelem tribe is finally out of the way, and we only got 2 tribes left in order for us to have all of our gold medals and all of our tribes back at the Ark. So here, have this very mean lemming with the mace, or the club. I can never tell what kind of weapon it is because I am not a heavy weapons guy. So yeah, I apologize if it took way too long for this to come out. Let's just say I've been incredibly lazy. I had the raw video of this made before I formatted my PC, but then I forgot to back it up. So yeah, the rest is history. But yeah, coming up next, it's time for things to go dark in the Shadow Tribe. Ooh.